Good morning and welcome to Leadership Tip Tuesday with Coach Ellis. Hey, this is the day I spend just a few minutes with our leaders talking about principles of leadership. And it doesn't matter whether you are the Chief of Staff of the Army or whether or not you simply are leading your small group at church, or whether or not you are a facilitator for a bunch of friends, or whether or not you are leading a family. Leadership principles are pretty much the same. So today I want to talk about this idea of the letter versus the intent. Now I want to be careful, Lady D, that we help folks understand this is not about the law. This is not about the thou shalt nots. This is about processes and procedures to accomplish our goals. So oftentimes what we have is guidelines given to us by our company, our church, or corporation, our nonprofit, whatever the case is. And these processes and procedures are designed to get us to the place where we think the organization wants to go. Yesterday, I was in a conversation with a colleague of mine about how we were going to recognize the accomplishments of one of our coworkers. And the discussion really came around that this coworker, while this coworker does outstanding work, they were selected for a promotion and another position. And because they hadn't been with us for the requisite amount of time of about 2 years, they haven't done anything earth-shattering. The process said that they're only eligible for a certain award. We'll say it's kind of like a certificate of attendance. You kind of were there. Because you haven't spent all this time. Although the work this person did was great, it wasn't earth-shattering, wasn't outstanding. I mean, it was outstanding, but it wasn't earth-shattering. It didn't change the world. And so there's no doubt in my mind that had this coworker been there for the requisite amount of time, within, if he or she stayed 2 or 3 years, they could have essentially have done things to change our entire work environment. Their character stood out so much to me, and their work ethic, that I knew that if something came up like that, that was a person to go to. So the letter of the guidelines simply says that they're not eligible for a higher level recognition. But the intent of the guideline is to reward our high achievers and those with the potential to achieve. So this dynamic that went back and forth, and you can't say the person who goes with a strict instructionist that goes with the letter of the guidelines is wrong, because they're not. They are absolutely right. But if we also know that the intent of the guidelines is to reward and award our best workers, then the intent is to make sure that we look retroactively to what they have done and what their potential to continue to do is. So in this dynamic discussion, the constructionist was right, and so the letter of the law person was right, and the intent of the law person was right. And the beauty of leadership teams is that we meet somewhere in the middle. And so the idea, Malcolm, is that we must always understand you cannot break the rules, but the rules, the guidelines, the processes can never be more important than the people. And the idea that taking care of our people as leaders, taking care of our people is just as important as taking care of the system. So I want to be clear to our leaders. We must take care of the system. We must take care of the infrastructure so that others following us will have something to go by. But we must also take care of the people. And so there used to be an old Air Force or old leadership diagram about the idea on one axis is the mission, one axis is the people. And whether you're a 1-10 leader or a 10-1 leader, the intent is to be a 10-10 leader. So it's 100% for mission, 100% for the people. But we really know in reality all we have is 100% to give. So we have to decide how much of it is about the mission, how much is it about the people, how much is it about the organization, how much is it about the workers. And that's our challenge as leaders. So what I invite you to do today on Leadership Tip Tuesday is to examine your processes to see if they really reflect how we want to take care of our people. If they do, then you have no issue. If they don't, then you have to really go back and look at them and begin to massage them. And when they come in conflict, I implore you, always choose people over process. Always choose people over process. Choose principles over people, but people over process. Hey, I'm Coach Ellis. If you got a comment, go ahead and leave your comments below in the comment section. Email me at coach@elliscrum.net or hit me up on Facebook at Coach Ellis. Until next Tuesday, have a one-tabulous taking care of your people Leadership Tuesday. God bless you. We'll see you later.